Cubans navigate the dark streets of Havana by the light of passing cars. That's as power outages increasingly hit the capital city. The scheduled and unplanned power cuts sometimes last for over 9 hours a day, and many outlying provinces see just 2 to 4 hours of electricity per day. Havana resident Zabilis Torrientes says the situation is getting worse.
Yo creo que por ahora los apagones no van a...
I think that for now, the power cuts are not going to improve. On the contrary, they are going to get worse, but I don't know why. Because they are getting worse. There are more blackouts every day. For example, in my experience, I have to live with electricity because I don't have gas. I live with one gas cylinder per month, and sometimes it doesn't last. I have a 1.5-year-old child, and it's very difficult for me to live with this situation. But what can we do?
convivir con esa situación. Pero bueno, ¿qué vamos a hacer?
Cuba's government blames the power outages on decrepit infrastructure, damage from Hurricane Melissa, and fuel shortages. Almost 900 megawatts of power generation, nearly a third of daily demand, was shut down on Wednesday due to lack of fuel and lubricants, the country's electrical union said. The communist-run island relies on imported refined products to meet demand. U.S. sanctions and a deep economic crisis have for years made it impossible for the government to buy enough fuel, forcing a growing dependence on allies. But in the first 10 months of this year, Cuba's imports of crude and fuel fell more than a third compared with the previous year, as key allies Mexico and Venezuela slashed supplies. That's according to shipping data and documents seen by Reuters. Cuba's oil imports from Mexico declined to 5,000 barrels per day, a 73% fall from in the same period of 2024. Imports of crude and fuel from Venezuela fell almost 15% over the same period to 27,400 barrels per day, internal documents from Venezuelan state oil company PDVSA showed. Mexico and Venezuela are both dealing with output limitations and do not have much spare capacity to offer to Cuba. Their lower availability, coupled with Cuba's struggles to pay for purchases on the spot market, has put a ceiling on the country's fuel imports. Russia, a supplier that has helped Cuba in past crises, has only sent a couple cargoes of Urals crude this year, in line with last year's supply, the data also showed. PDVSA, Mexico's state oil company Pemex, and the information ministries of Cuba and Venezuela did not reply to requests for comment.